I'm going to be honest with you. I want to talk to you about something. I want to talk about... Can I begin like this? This episode is going to be a bit different as A, I won't be jumping around London so much, and B, I want to focus on a certain subject, which is...
Focus.
Well, I have invisibility.
Focus.
Huh?
Focus.
Oh, yeah.
Focus. Not being able to focus became quite a problem for me, and as I noticed there's a lot of people having similar problems, I thought it might be a good idea to talk about it. As I finished school and started working and I kind of felt that I'm finally free to do what I want, I spent less and less time learning new things and I gradually lost my ability to focus properly. And even when I sat down deliberately to study something, there wasn't any real pressure behind it, so I was never completely immersing myself into it. It's sad and stupid.
Really stupid.
Like really stupid. Really stupid. Where was I? It's sad and stupid to stop studying as soon as you stop your official studies. It's like at the moment when your knowledge is finally expanding properly and your brain is ready to do some serious business, you suddenly decide that that was it for you and now it's time to let your brain just chillax. I guess one of the problems is the school you were in and the school system. Some teachers are more encouraging than others, and I agree that this is a serious issue. It took me about 7 years after finishing high school to actually start reading books on my own and actually enjoy them. Another problem is technology and the way we are living today. Having a smartphone that lets you access everything you could possibly imagine at your flick of a thumb at any given moment is turning your brain into... Your phone constantly reminding you that there's something else going on, with sending you messages, notifications and I don't know what else, does anything but help your attention span. Not to mention it doesn't do any good to the memory either. It's crazy that my hand automatically reaches for the pocket like every minute or every 30 seconds to check my phone, and because I let my head get the reward whenever I get an impulse, I let it wander off and be in charge of me instead of vice versa. Imagine now trying to keep focus on something for 15 minutes when your head is used to checking the phone every minute. And this is just 15 minutes we're talking about, it's crazy. So now we know wherein lies the problem and are therefore from this moment on completely responsible for the problem of focusing. So no excuses or blaming anyone else. The solution is to basically become in charge of your head and your life. Now this will require a certain amount of self-discipline, but I mean, is there anything you can achieve in life without self-discipline? Our brain cannot multitask. Even when we do multitask, it's because at least one of the actions is something that you can do automatically. If not, then your brain is basically jumping back and forth between separate tasks all the time. So no matter what you do that thing only. If you eat, then eat. I know it sounds stupid, but it helps. Try and focus on the taste, on the texture. I don't know why you like it, why you don't. Is it too sweet? Is it too salty? Is it not enough salty? You'll really start enjoying stuff much more. And maybe even become a better cook. Who knows? What I did, and it helped me massively, is I restricted my social media usage. I only allow myself to check Facebook and Instagram during the weekends. If you really need to post stuff on a daily basis, you have programs like Hootsuite and similar that will let you post stuff without actually going to Facebook or Twitter or anything. If this is your job or if it's important for your career, then that's another thing. The point is you need to restrict it so you don't go wandering around and before you know it, you're clicking through family holiday pictures of a person you don't even know, which is wrong anyway. Also, checking how many likes your photo or a post got doesn't really help you. Think about it right after you do it. Like check your phone, check the number of likes and then ask yourself, now what? Now what? And the fact that you want to know how your friends will reply to your status is also not an excuse. It will still be there when you check it later. It's 21st century and this is called technology.
American components, Russian components, all made in Taiwan!
Put your phone on mute as often as possible. I don't know if you discovered this feature, but all the new phones have this really cool thing that tells you exactly who called you and when. If you're not waiting for a really important call, then nothing is so important that it couldn't wait. And don't feel bad for not immediately picking up when people call you if you're busy doing something else. When you're working, put the phone somewhere you can't see it and that it's not your pocket. This way you won't be constantly glancing at it and checking if you got any missed calls or messages. Put your phone to airplane mode or somewhere you can reach it while watching TV or a movie. No checking IMDb, no scrolling through Amazon. If you really want to know which actress is that and in what films she appeared before that, and if there's any semi-nude photos of her on Google, you will remember that after the movie ends. If you don't, then it probably wasn't important in the first place. When you're reading or watching something or talking to someone, your mind will naturally make connections. Because you will stimulate a certain part of your brain, it will trigger memories or associations. Let's say you're watching a film about baking. Your brain will bring up that carrot cheesecake conversation you had with your friend the other day and might want to start checking for recipes. Just say to yourself, I'll do that later. That way you will unload your brain and let the flow of information continue. You have countless apps that do that, or my preferable way, use pen and paper. This way, at the end of every day, you will have a physical evidence that you have achieved something in that day and therefore reward your brain. It's important that you keep track of what you do, as this will help you build up your self-confidence, which is quite important when you try to convince yourself that you're capable of doing something, which in our case is make your mind sharp again. Also, when doing to-do lists, it's not a bad idea to prioritize. Be sure to put more energy into more important and difficult stuff. While working on something, your brain will get tired and will need to rest a bit and reset if you want to continue working on focus. So make sure you take breaks. Maybe make a 10-minute break every 45 minutes or every hour. Leave the space you're in, move around and hydrate. Imagine it going to a perfume store where you need to reset your nose with smelling coffee after every perfume you've smelled. Let your brain think about something else for a while. Going out can mean anything from going for a run or a stroll, going to the museum, or just taking your laptop or whatever your weapon of choice is and going to a cafe to work. It will give you new ideas and you will automatically get rid of all the distractions that you have in your room or your office. I don't care how esoteric it may sound and whether you believe in it or not, but this is probably the most important thing to do. Meditation does a few things to your mind. Clears it, it gives you time off, and it helps you focus, which is exactly what we're after. If you aren't meditating already, then start slowly, like 10 minutes a day, and then progress. There's loads of apps and YouTube videos for guided meditation, there's books, articles, whatever suits you more, I don't know. Go out there and search. Start small and then gradually increase the time. What is also important is that you do it every day, no exceptions. In my first episode I talked about my 52 weeks routine challenge, and you can check the video here, I don't know. And the goal of that is exactly that, to become the master of my head again. Sounds like a cartoon. I wanted to say that's it in a nutshell, but it kind of expanded to this thing. Anyway, I hope this helps. If you're going to use any of this advice, don't give up too quickly. These things don't change overnight and it might take months, and only if you keep track of your results will you be able to see the difference. Keep pushing and challenging yourself, and when you think that you honestly can get your head around it, just keep at it. Focus! Click the like video somewhere down there if you liked the video, and then click subscribe, which is also somewhere down or here, I don't know, it says subscribe, click it. There's a new video every Monday on Not an Englishman, so keep following. Thank you!